Everyone desires happiness, but how many attain a form of happiness that is lasting and untouched by circumstances? People strive for wealth, fame, and prestige, believing they lead to contentment. Yet we see even the outwardly successful individuals plagued by dissatisfaction. Why? Because real imperishable happiness doesn't come from outer accomplishments but from clear inner purpose, unwavering morality, and devotion to God. This teaching, flowing from the timeless wisdom of saints, especially Shree Maharaj, tells us that only when our actions spring from inner conviction and spiritual goal, not mere social approval, can we access true peace. Paramartha, the path to spiritual truth, is actually simple, made difficult only when we neglect its foundation, a clear aim, moral life, and remembrance of God. One who delivers moving and convincing sermons, or carries out religious rituals meticulously, may yet fail to realize for himself unalloyed, imperturbable contentment. He continues to suffer from one dissatisfaction or another. The reason is that his goal is not clear to him. People often observe moral rules for fear of popular disapproval rather than for personal thought or conviction. Anything done merely for social regard will fail to give genuine, lasting contentment. Nor, on the other hand, does contentment come to one who disregards the moral code and behaves contrary to public regard, for his own conscience constantly pricks him. A man once bitterly complained that God is very unjust. "Why do you say so?" I asked. He answered, "I conducted myself righteously, morally correctly, and yet could afford only a humble house, whereas that mere assistant of mine amassed wealth by dishonesty enough to build a 3-storied house right opposite mine. Why did you not do likewise?" I asked again. He replied, "What would people say about me?" Something done like this, merely to avoid public comment and censure, will never give genuine contentment. We observe morals for fear of social disapproval and perform religious rites to earn happiness, which rests only in God. An action, however good, but done without genuine devotion to the eternal God, is bound to fail in yielding real contentment. Nor, conversely, can the edifice of Paramartha stand without the foundation of moral behavior. Paramartha is, as a matter of fact, very simple and straightforward. It is the professional philosophers, the argumentative erudites, who make or represent it as highly intricate. It can be easily attained with the help of one of 3 things. 1. Actual company of a living saint. 2. Keeping in touch with the saint's writings and acting on them. And 3. Constant repetition of the divine name, for such repetition will keep us in the company of God, ceaselessly aware of Him. To follow a saint's behests faithfully, doubtlessly, is the first step, and to persist in them with determination, faith, and love constitutes the last. This, indeed, is the easy way to unperishing contentment. Sri Padmapada, one of the foremost disciples of Adi Shankaracharya, beautifully embodies today's principle that real happiness comes not from intellectual mastery or ritual precision, but from inner clarity and absolute devotion. Once, while returning from a distant village carrying the manuscripts of Shankara's commentary, Padmapada was crossing a flooded river. He was so absorbed in meditating on his guru's teachings and the Lord's name that he didn't notice there were no stepping stones. Miraculously, as he stepped forward, lotuses emerged under his feet to support him. His deep surrender and faith in the Guru's grace made him oblivious to danger. That is why he was later called Padmapada, the one with lotus feet. He was not just a scholar. His heart was saturated with divine faith. This miraculous incident wasn't about magic. It was about unwavering clarity and purpose, deep absorption in spiritual truth, and unshakable faith in the path shown by a saint. That's what brought him imperishable joy and divine grace. This is the lesson Shree Maharaj emphasizes. Mere intellectual mastery is not enough. Imperishable contentment comes from devotion, clarity of aim, and wholehearted practice of the path shown by realized beings. When we look at the lives of great souls like Padmapada, it becomes clear that clarity, devotion, and sincere practice are really at the heart of spiritual fulfillment. It's not about how much we know or how many rituals we perform, but about how deeply we allow these teachings to transform us from within. This is something we all can, in our own way, strive for every single day. Imperishable happiness isn't reserved for renunciates or miracle workers. It is the birthright of anyone who makes their inner compass steady, lives morally out of conviction, and lives their life in namasmarana or divine remembrance. Let us not seek happiness in fleeting social approval or hollow rituals. Instead, let us embrace the timeless truths of saints, live with integrity, repeat the divine name, and walk faithfully in the direction they point us to. Then, without fail, real, unwavering, imperishable joy will blossom in our hearts.